Decimal expansion. How to expand decimal numbers. What are they? Numbers that use a decimal point followed by digits. Why? To be more accurate in recording length. Interesting fact. Pound for pound, ponies are stronger than horses. Let's go ahead and read the steps. Step 1. Write down each place value. Step 2. Remove the extra zeros. Let's read the question. Expand the following number, 4.67. So as you can see, we've already written down the place values and written the numbers below each one. So let's go ahead and get started expanding the number. So the first step is to take a look at the place value on the left, and in this case it is ones or units. So we're going to go ahead and write down the number 4, and every other number is going to become a 0. Now we're going to write that down, 4.00. Now we're going to move to the right one place value. In this case, we're working with the tenths. Write down the number 6, and every other number becomes a 0. So we write down 0.60. And then we move right again to the next place value, which is hundredths. And we write down 0.07. And now we're going to remove the extra zeros. And your answer is 4 plus 0.6 plus 0.07. Now let's take a look at example 2. We're going to expand the number 5.04. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with the place value on the left. And in this case, it is the ones or the units. So we write down 5 and every other number becomes a 0. So now we write down 5.00 and we move to the next place value, which is tenths. And it's a 0. And we change the other numbers to a 0 as well. So we write down 0.00. Now we move to the next place value, which is hundredths. And now we're going to go ahead and write down 0.04. We're going to remove the extra zeros, and we have 5 plus 0.04. Now let's take a look at example 3, where we take a look at expanding the number 50.13. And in this case, we're going to go ahead and get started, but we're going to take a look at the place value on the left. It is not the ones, it is the tenths. Same process. So we write down the number, and every other number becomes a 0. And we write down 50.00. Move one place value to the right, which is a 0. So and all the rest of the numbers become zeros, and we write down 0.00. And then now we're going to go ahead and move one place value to the right. So we write down the 1 underneath the tenths, and every other number becomes a 0. So we write down 0.10. And then now we're going to go ahead and move to the right one place value to the hundredths. We write down 3, and every other number becomes a 0. So we write down 0.03. And in this case, now we're going some extra zeros, so we're going to go ahead and remove them. And our answer is 50 plus 0.1 plus 0.03. Okay, so now we take a look at the next example where we have 1.892 and we're going to expand it. So now we take a look at the place value on the left, and in this case it is ones. So now we're going to go ahead and write down the 1, and every other number is going to become a 0. So we write down 1.000, and we move to the right one place value, so we write the number 8, and every other number becomes a 0. So let's go ahead and write that down, 0.800. Move one place value to the right, which is the hundredths. So we write down the 9, and every other number becomes a 0. And now we write it down, 0.090. And finally, we're going to take a look at the thousands and write down 2, and every other number becomes a 0. And now we write down 0.002. Now we're going to remove the extra zeros, and we get 1 plus 0.8 plus 0.09 plus 0.002. Okay, now it is your turn, so go ahead and pause the video so you can take your time to answer these questions, and I will show you the answers in 3, 2, and 1. If you got them correct, well done. If you didn't, there's always tomorrow.